States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't normally do this, but I've had 2 requests to move the public comment section. The gentleman that needs to get back to Watertown. Does anybody on the board have anything against that? That's fine. Okay, I'll open the public comment section.
Only take a minute. My name is Bart Bonner. I'm from Watertown. And a few weeks ago, I contributed $25 to the town for a parking ticket. I was a little upset by that. And I got it right up the road here. A couple 300 yards right across from the entrance to the fair. And there wasn't a no parking sign there. There's one on each end, but it wasn't where a half a dozen cars were parked. And I had an interesting battle with Judge Scorno. She said, Bart, you're right. There's no parking sign there. Too bad. Pay your $25. So I paid my $25. So I'm coming here today to ask you folks to please put maybe a couple more no parking signs in that vacant area across from the entrance to the fairgrounds, so that folks like me who come up here for the Lewis County Fair don't park in a no parking zone. You think perhaps you could consider that?
Randy, do you know what he's talking about? I already talked to the state DOT today, they're already working on that. Thank you.
Okay?
That's a statement.
I would appreciate it. I just enjoy seeing how everybody is here,
Do me a favor.
running the village and
Park somewhere else.
spending all the taxpayers' money as fast as they can.
I will comment on his. I'm Dudley Rombo. I turned onto the street to go down by the movie theater this morning, and I almost ran into a back of a tractor trailer. And there's a whole bunch of signs saying no parking. Why aren't they being ticketed?
Probably because we weren't there. I would hope that they're gonna be.
No, it wasn't. It was, they were unloading stuff to the businesses. And that happens every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
It's dangerous.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. I will drive through here again in a couple weeks, and I'll be anxiously
Can't believe this is
looking
happening.
to see if there's any more no parking signs.
Wait till you see our fake fire hydrants.
Yes, absolutely. And good hunting season for everybody.
Thanks, Bart.
Hi, I'm Dudley Rombo again. I was wondering if they were going to take care of the sidewalks. Both the gentleman, the mayor, and the gentleman over there know what I'm talking about. Especially now with the kids going back to school. It's getting, I see a lady fall the other day on Stowe Street. Because the sidewalks are bad, and then most of the time they're walking in the middle of the road. And somebody's gonna get hit. And then somebody's gonna get sued. I mean, I know that the gentleman and the mayor told me that they sent the one gentleman on Stowe Street a letter, but that still hasn't been taken care of. It's rolled right out in the middle of the sidewalk.
You're talking the hedgerow.
I'm talking both the hedgerow on Cascade.
Both of them I'm in
Yeah.
the process of taking care of.
Because I mean, the kids gotta have a place to walk, and
The
my kids walk to school.
property has been kind of tough to get a hold of anybody. So right now I'm in contact with the agent that's selling the house.
Okay.
So
What about the other one over on Stowe Street? About 3 houses down from my place.
Yes, the Brown building.
Yes.
The one where everything's grown over?
Yes, yes.
We've been in touch with them too.
Yes.
Yeah, you sent them a letter at the beginning, or last month.
I don't think I've received anything back.
Are you talking about the hedgerow girls?
Sadowski's, but that's in the process. The other one across the road, I think it's a couple houses down from you.
It is.
Yeah, I will, there was a letter sent out, I mean, us as a village, we'll take care of it. here
Well, I
soon.
just think why I'm saying something now, I mean, the school starts in 2 weeks. I mean, it needs to be, for $10, I can go down and do it myself. That'll pay for my gas. And are they going to,
I wanna see your certificate of insurance.
it's right in the truck, actually. I just renewed it, actually. Are they gonna enforce keeping the sidewalks all blown out this year? Because I know there was a lot of them last year. That wasn't done.
We get a complaint, we send out the letters, and if they don't do it, then we go and do it.
Okay. But I mean, and there was a couple even on Main Street that wasn't done. I mean, I know my kids have to walk that way. They have to walk to school.
There's some on Boston Street that don't get plowed out.
There's a lot of them that don't. There's one right there down by the school that barely ever gets touched. You want me to come? You want me to come to work for you?
No,
I already knew that answer.
well, obviously, as you know, this will be my first winter here, so.
Right. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just
No.
asking the questions now.
No, we will,
You know,
we'll be patrolling it more.
yeah, I
I
know.
like to get out there and
And I know how
see
to
the
control
village
the
every
call.
day, so.
So,
And in the way it states in our codes, we send them a letter, they've got 48 hours to clean the sidewalk.
okay.
But in case of a snow in between that 48 hours, then it gets rolled over another 48
Right.
hours, so.
But
Sometimes
I
it's
know,
hard
because
to
I take
enforce
care of a
it.
lot of the sidewalks in the village, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to know the rules.
See, that saves you when your snow blower breaks down.
No, no, because then I gotta use a shovel.
Well, I'm gonna try to patrol that a lot more.
I appreciate that. See, you guys all cringed when I walked in here, you thought I was gonna throw a tantrum, and I just had a couple questions. Danny really cringed. Thank you. And I think you guys, and I think the village crew is doing a very good job, by the way.
Thank you.
I really do.
So we don't have to come back to public comment. Does anybody else have anything while we're right here? Okay.
Thank you for doing that early too, I appreciate that. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Okay, let's move on. Orders of the day, public hearing, vehicle and traffic local law amendment. We have a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved, Mayor. I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, is there any public comment on the vehicle and traffic local law at this time? We'll keep it open for a while. Let's move on to approval of minutes. August, or July 17th, board meeting.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
The approval of vouchers.
Vouchers that have been audited, general fund. $163,990.68. Water fund, $27,294.06. Sewer fund, $10,315.30. Capital fund, $1,546,933.71. I move that they all be paid as audited.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. I just want to say one thing on the general fund. That Danny had there was $163,990.68. Just for everybody's information, $109,134 of that will be coming back to the state, to the village. CHIPS funding. That paid for the streets that were paved this summer.
Other than the 5th Street.
Other than the 5 streets, yes. Nothing to do with the 5 streets. Okay, 5 streets utility reconstruction project.
So I guess give you guys an update. I mean, I did want to say that old news article this morning was pretty nice. You called it a good job. If you guys didn't watch that, just give you guys an update. Stowe Street, East State Street, they're both nearly finished. All the utilities are in. The road's been paved with binder, so just kind of final cleanup and topping the roads is all that's left in those two streets. Water Street, sewer and water utilities are in. Just need to do the storm, obviously. I would say that they should be done Water Street with by mid to end September. They will be starting on Park Avenue soon. The plan is for right now to just do the lower section of Park between Shady and Water Street. This year, and then obviously next year will be the rest of it. To touch on the 7519 East State Street property, last month we gained a zoning variance for that lot, for two of the lot lines. That was approved at last month's meeting pending a public hearing. And we have submitted to the planning board for this August meeting for the subdivision. And that meeting is next Wednesday. And with me today I have, just back to 5 streets again, sorry, I do have the next change order number 4. Is going to be in the amount of $170,284.64. I'd say for the most part, a lot of this stuff in here is just stuff that pops up in construction that is unforeseen. And I do have 2 pay apps as well. I do want to note that for the contingency right now, after this change order, we would have approximately $875,000 in contingency left. And this year we've used somewhere between $500,000 and $600,000 in contingency.
I got a question on that
Yep.
change order.
Yep.
Looking down through it,
Mm-hmm.
the only issue I have is with sidewalk restoration.
Yep.
My question is, can we put that change order through without that? My reasoning behind that is, I've been videotaping what the gas company's tearing up.
Okay.
And they're tearing up an awful lot of walkway.
Yep.
I've walked the sidewalks on Stowe Street, there's some I'm not happy with that
Yep.
need to be replaced.
Yep.
So, I don't wanna go out and pay out any money until that is corrected.
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, if we,
I mean, that's my feeling.
if we
I don't know about
modify
the
the
rest of
change
it.
order, I guess we'll have to, it'll just be next month, it would be approved, so. Then we just hold up those monies for Highlander, but they're still getting paid for their regular pay app, so. I mean, it is what it is, if that's the desire of the board, then we will look into it and.
But
Yeah, I would say that for those of you guys who don't come to the construction meeting, I'd say probably 20 to 30% of this change order is sidewalk repair that NICEAG has worked up.
I mean, I think we need to sit down with NICEAG, and I mean, I crunched some numbers here today that I thought might be a fair price that they should have to kick in, but I don't
Right.
feel the village should have to pay for all that.
Yeah, just obviously, like they were saying before, we want to finish up all the sidewalk and Stowe Street and everything. We want,
I mean, I know we talked a little bit about this before, but then,
Yeah.
like I say, once I got driving around and seeing just how much they were ripping up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if they can come in and repair it, but we're trying to have Highlander come in and do it as soon as possible, so that it's not, left the way it is. Obviously, when school starts, we'd like to have it.
Well, my thought with the gas company is we just, okay, you got 50 blocks you tore out. It's gonna be so much a square foot, and the average block is roughly 16 square feet. So, and I'd give them a fair price. I don't, looking at, some of the pricing here, I think it's a little bit high for what you can put sidewalk in for. I mean, I'd be fair with them, but I just feel we gotta pay something.
Especially to get it right.
would there be the possibility of approving the change order and having that quantity there, but not having to use it? Just because you approve the change order doesn't necessarily mean you have to use that quantity, because we still have, for instance, all the sidewalk for next year and the project is in the budget. So we could potentially just approve it, but not pay it out, potentially, just to get the rest of the monies going for the work that
And I
happens.
kinda hear where you're coming from, cause EFC's gotta approve this.
Yeah, because it's a long process, and then I know Highlander, they wanna get paid for the other work that's in there too. I mean, we've heard Brad say that before, so we would like to say that again.
So you can't approve this and hold back that funding, you're saying?
I think we can do that, and if, maybe we make the motion to approve it, look into it, and if that's not okay, then I don't know if it's possible to like rescind it or something.
Sure.
Just so we have an option going forward, and it doesn't burn up a month, I guess.
Right, you can make the approval contingent upon.
Mayor, can I ask a question? May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would those sidewalks have been disturbed if it weren't for NICEAG? Okay,
On Park, probably nothing.
okay, thank you.
No, I'll go along with that.
Oh, okay. So what specifically would the condition be then, that we discuss the sidewalk with NICEAG, or that, what do you wanna do?
Yeah, I think the time's come where we can. I know we were holding off just because we wanted to get NICEAG in here and get them to do their work, but I think they've done quite a bit on Park Ave, so I think now we can actually go back to them and
Right.
say, hey, you've destroyed all this sidewalk, you know, it's time for you to penny up.
I haven't videotaped that section yet, but they also took out another section down on Shady Ave heading towards the co-op. And I gotta go back down over the hill on Park Ave because I see they're back on the southwest side of Park Ave, taking out some more or something.
Cause I agree with you, I mean, I think they ought to be replaced before school starts, cause it's,
Yeah.
you can't walk down Park Ave, you'd have to
You gotta
walk on
walk
the
in
other
road.
side of the road.
You know, getting around it, you
Yeah.
gotta walk in the road, or on the lawn, but.
I'd hate to see something happen with the kids, especially the way they've got their gas signs coming out of the ground and whatnot, so. I think it's definitely something we have to move forward on to get it done before school.
I mean, I realize it's costing them money to move their utilities, but it's just the way it's going.
Yeah, I mean, we talked with Joe, I talked to you about that one time, and, you know, the village does have the right to, you know, seek reimbursement, right? So, yeah.
Are they moving their lines because we or our construction people told them to, or they want to do this?
They're basically getting out of the way of our
They're getting out of our
utilities
way, basically.
because of the project.
Okay.
It's actually a win-win for both. I mean,
'Cause they don't
because
have-
now they're gonna have gas lines on both sides, so they're gonna be able to feed the houses on the right side from the right side gas line, from the left side gas line. So it helps us, cause we can get our sewer line in, our water line in, but it also kinda helps them too.
Okay.
At least that's my perspective.
Plus, when they have, it'll be easier for them when they have new hookups and things down there.
So Mayor, do you think we can approve the change order with the condition that we, I don't know if you're gonna help me here, Mr. Russell, with, look into, I don't know, earmark it or something to be rescinded, that, at least the sidewalk or something?
Certain percentage, whatever percentage you come up with, right, it's their responsibility.
Yeah.
You're saying all of it's theirs.
I sure, like later on, if you wanna go down this route later on, if they do reimburse us, we can put that money back into the projects. And like do a subtraction change order where the money comes back. So that's also.
But actually, like
an
Paul
option.
says, well, if they come in this fall and they replace the blocks, it would be, we'd all be ahead of the game.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely, but I think
yeah.
what Paul was getting at, Kevin, was if they drag their feet or something and then all of a sudden snow flies, you don't
Yeah.
have anything for the winter. So if we approve it now and then they drag their feet, we would have the option to say, okay, Highlander, just put it in. And we could still seek reimbursement. That's my thought.
Yeah, that's my thought too. We can at least get it in there.
And even if it wasn't a full reimbursement from them, we should at least be able to get back the amount that they normally would pay to replace sidewalks, because they've done it in the past, I've gotta believe. So whatever they normally would pay toward that, that's the very least we should hit them up for, I would think.
Does somebody wanna make a motion to that? Everybody's okay with the rest of it?
I'll make the motion, that whatever the heck you guys are talking.
Just saying. I'll second that.
There you go.
Can you put it in good words for us?
Other than what the heck? Yeah.
The motion's gonna be, we approve the change order 4. But
Contingency that.
contingency,
There's a proposal with NICEAG to.
Fix what they're responsible.
Well, either fix or reimburse.
Fix or reimburse.
There you go.
Reimbursement.
for
For
sidewalk
sidewalks.
blocks that they're ripping out.
There you go. Disturbed.
A second?
Second, very good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, that's all I have for Fox Streets. Here are here's the, change order, Joe. Sign here. And then, I got 2 caps here for having
Thank you. Wastewater treatment plant upgrades, phase 2. Anybody have anything on that?
We don't have any new information.
The only thing I have is, on some monies that we might be getting from the state. I emailed, the gentleman that's in charge of it, and I think he must be out of the office for vacation, because I got an email back, said out of the office, it was an emergency to call this other 800 number, and I didn't call it because it wasn't an emergency.
That's ESD you're talking about?
ESD, Empire State Development. Village water system, Watson water agreements. To my knowledge, we've heard nothing back.
I haven't.
What I'll do is, I'll just try and give Dennis Foster a call and see what's going on. We haven't heard anything back. See what kind of an answer I get.
He's moving.
I know he's going. Sometime. US EPA administrative order.
I don't have anything new on that unless you do.
I think we're good on that, aren't we, Pam? Sent them everything.
We're all set.
Nothing new right now, we'll have to send another report after September.
I knew that we sent them out some paperwork after we sent the letter, and the last I knew we should be okay on that.
Yeah, we have to give them a quarterly update,
Yeah.
so that'll be September.
Anything on the pre-treatment?
Just the pilot's technically ended and we have to analyze the results. We don't have all the information back yet.
Groundwater development project. We need to finish up the C4, and I believe we need to do the resolution, and all this stuff needs to be able to get to Jeff Smith.
First thing we need to do, Mayor, is go through part 2 of the long-form environmental assessment form. And I'd be happy to walk you through that. Ryan's office prepared proposed answers to the questions on part 2 of the EAF. I'll propose that we go through those questions individually, and you can indicate either your agreement or disagreement with the proposed answers. So, the first question is whether the proposed action may involve an impact on land, involving construction on or physical alteration of the land surface. Obviously, the answer is yes, but your engineers have indicated that the impact will be small, if any. Is any disagreement with that? Okay. The next impact is on geological features, and your engineers have indicated that there should be no impact on significant geological features. Everybody in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay. Impacts on surface water. The proposed action may affect one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies. Again, the engineers have indicated yes, but any impact that occurs will be small. Everybody in agreement with that?
Yes.
Impact on groundwater. Again, there will be an impact on groundwater, but the engineers have indicated that any impact will be small. Everybody in agreement with that? Okay. Impact on flooding. The engineers have indicated that there should be no impact on flooding, and everybody's in agreement with that. Impact on air. The engineers have indicated there should be none. Everybody's in agreement with that, I take it?
Yep.
Okay. Impact on plants or animals. The proposed action may result in a loss of flora or fauna. And again, the engineers have indicated that that is a possibility, but any such impact will be small. Everybody agrees with that. Impact on agricultural resources. The engineers have indicated there should be none. Everybody's in agreement there. Impact on aesthetic resources. Again, the engineers have indicated none. Everybody's in agreement with that. Impact on historic or archaeological resources. Again, there should be none according to the engineers. Everybody agrees with that. Impact on open space and recreation. Again, there should be none. Everybody agrees with that. Impact on critical environmental areas. Again, their indication is there should be none. Everybody's in agreement. Impact on transportation. Again, there should be no impact on transportation. Impact on energy. Again, the engineers have indicated that there may be some impact, but any impact would be small. Everybody's in agreement. Impact on noise, odor, or light. And again, there will be some impact on noise, odor, or light, but your engineers propose that any such impact will be small. Everybody's in agreement. Impact on human health. Engineers have indicated there should be none. And that's an agreement. The engineers have indicated that the proposed action is consistent with the community plans. And everybody's in agreement with that. And also the engineers have indicated that the proposed action is consistent with the community character. Everybody's in agreement with that. Based upon your agreement with the proposed answers to those questions, the board now is in a position to act on the resolution proposing a negative declaration.
A motion to,
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second?
all in favor? Aye.
Having completed the secret review, Mayor, you're free now to act on the bond resolution.
Do I have a copy of the bond resolution?
Yep. Is this gonna be resolution number 2019-15? What is the dash?
I'm not sure yet.
Not sure yet?
I got it.
It's blank.
It's blank.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Basically what it is,
Bond resolution.
the village hereby authorized to issue up to $4,260,000 worth of serial bonds for this particular project.
Right.
You made a motion on that, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Second?
That requires a roll call vote. We need to do a roll call vote.
Need a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Oh.
Charlie?
Yes.
Timothy Woodrick?
Yes.
Joseph Beagle? Yes. Edward Murphy?
Yes.
Danny Salma?
Yes.
We also have, we move on to the legal services agreement. Legal services agreement between Barclay Damon, attorneys at law, and the village of Lowville. Basically, it's compensation for them to do this bond.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
All in favor?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we got the bond council service agreement. Basically,
Yeah, there's two separate agreements. The funding agencies require a general services agreement and a bond council agreement.
Well, I'll move that one too, Mr. Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Fees would be not to exceed that.
Oh, there's one item there. I think there's an extra zero.
There's an extra zero. I don't think we charge that much yet.
It's on the line, so
Is there?
Subsection.
I had not been calculated on it.
That was the first one.
That's a mistake, let me catch it.
Yeah, because if that was true, you wouldn't be charging it here very long.
Going concern.
Okay, is everybody okay with all that? Basically, the reason we had to get this done tonight is this has all gotta go to Jeff Smith at Municipal Solutions because he's in the process and he needs this in order to, he's putting in for 2 water grants, one through the state and he's putting one through the federal, also. And they have to be in here in September. Okay, water supply and investigation, draft limited action agreement and purchase option, basically, our committee met with, and Ryan was involved from, Tymo Engineering. We met with, individuals involved, they were okay with, the first part of our agreement. They would like to see some changes made to, the second part. So basically, our committee has gotten together ourselves and gone over what they were looking for, and we came up with a new set of options that we will most likely be proposing to the gentlemen. But we're going to run them through the municipal board first and make sure they're on board with everything. Isn't that what we were doing?
Yeah, I think we just gotta email
Gotta get together
Russell.
with Joe to make the changes and
Yeah,
all.
just send me an email that they are.
Yep, and do that.
That's kind of where we are with that at the moment. Town of Lowville master meter requests.
No new information, Mayor.
Outdoor street lighting, LED conversion program, the only update I have on that is I got an email from Mickey Dietrich. The Guild Commission's working with all the communities that are involved with this LED street lighting in regards to the smart technology that's gonna go with them. And they put in for a grant, and they should hear in sometime in December whether or not they're gonna get the grant. And if they get the grant, that should pretty much pay for all of the extra for the smart source on our street lights. So that's all I've heard. I don't know if you've heard anything since. So, but we also were told by New York Power Authority that not to look for any new street lights until after the first of the year to begin with. So I mean, it's not a quick process. It takes a while. I said, I think you got a little information on it.
Yeah, I actually have some good news for a change with them. I spoke with council's office on Monday this week, and they agree with our interpretation of the franchise agreement, and they will be proceeding to install service to Ross Road at no charge to the property owner. They're in the process now of doing the necessary filings with the Public Service Commission that they have to do. So I'm not sure what the timing is, but he will get his natural gas.
They, public service won't balk at it.
No, it's part of the franchise agreement. They just have to do some filings
Right.
with the Public Service Commission. So.
Great.
She wouldn't have given me that information if they thought they had an issue with the PSC. So.
I do know that they also called Mr. Ross directly.
Good.
Amazing.
Every once in a while you get surprised.
Every once in a while. Amazing.
Did you have any temporary permits? I don't know if Tim had any luck with them.
I sent an email to Kathy and she couldn't, they were too busy to get me on their agenda for the board meeting, so I won't go until next meeting, I guess. What I was told, and she was supposed to send that email to the joint board, so.
Property maintenance enforcement, any luck with the?
Well, I have a call into the county attorney to talk with her about that to see if they'd be willing to amend our IMA to include that, but we haven't made contact yet. I just gotta follow up with her, so I'll get you an answer.
Because if there's a few properties that we need to get checked out.
Yeah.
The recycling place does look a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been by there lately, but that mound of cans in front is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
So I guess they're working on it. I know John was in the hospital for a while.
I heard he went back. Though. I heard he got,
did he?
Plus the other thing they're doing, I think, I saw a sign there that they're not
Closed on
accepting,
Wednesdays.
but they're not accepting drop-offs right now, so
Oh,
that
so
gives
that's
them a
out
chance to
too,
catch
yeah.
up.
So they're working on it, which is good.
Okay, anybody, same group, no more comments on the vehicle and traffic local law? If not, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
I make a motion to close the public hearing, Mayor.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, what does the board wanna do on the local law amendment, resolution 2019? Which basically, deals with traffic tickets. Go ahead and pass it, or?
Do we have any input from the chief while he's right here?
Wasn't
Yeah.
this stuff in the parking?
I believe the chief and, judge were the two that,
This was the
Wanted
parking
it.
stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So you can actually now enforce the code's code.
You okay?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve this resolution. Mayor.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 3, wind farm, road use agreement. Basically, what that is Joe says he's already reviewed it, he's okay with it.
Yep.
We got, basically it's this agreement right here, if anybody wants to look at it. And at the very last page, all the village is involved because there may be some trucks crossing some of our streets. But the town of Lowville, the village, county, are all listed. So I'm just looking for the board's permission to go ahead and sign that.
So moved.
Make a move, Dan?
I'll make the motion.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Craft surcharges.
Nothing.
Nothing for the month of June, so we don't have to do anything on it. A copy of the Lowville Fire Department's budget. Their budget's actually up a little bit this year. Slightly over 6,000, but a lot of that could, because the state's mandating this new insurance for cancer. So that's one reason their budget's up.
Makes sense to me.
Do we need to make a motion to approve that for Attorney Nelson?
You know, it wouldn't hurt.
I'll make a motion.
What's that, Dave?
I'll make a motion to approve the fire department's budget from the village standpoint.
Almost, I thought we had to approve it because
You do.
then it goes out to the town right from us.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got the Green Cheese Festival coming up, I believe it's September 21st, Saturday. This is a resolution we do each year to people to close off some of the streets, put up the detour. Anybody have any comments with that?
I'll make the motion.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is the fire department okay with this? The cream cheese out in front of the department?
Works. We have plans in place to move all the trucks to the bus garage that day, so it's not.
I felt it'd be unfair not to ask the question. Thank you.
Well, I know, Dan, there was a meeting, I sat in on it, basically between the chief of police, sheriff's department, Jeremy Papano, and, they were trying to, Paul was there.
We're gonna make it more secure because of everything that's happened all around the world, so we've gotten together as a team, and so it's gonna be a lot more secure.
And I know at that time they talked about the fire department, but they said like last year, you guys staged from the bus garage,
Yeah,
so they thought probably we're gonna be doing that this year too.
yeah, that's, we find that to be the best for us, because then all our trucks are in one spot. We don't have to worry about going to a spot and then having the truck not be there because someone else came and drove it down, so with them all there, it's just easy to have them in one location. And they have the electrical hookups for us, so they can stay charging all day, so.
So hopefully everything will come off without any problems. Okay, Justice Court Assistance Program. Basically what this is the town and village going to support the Justice Court. And what they're looking to do this year is, you got the double entry door where you come into the town with a post in the center. And then you got this set of double doors here, is to make this entrance and the entrance coming into the town handicap accessible, which most likely will have to change the doors coming into the town from the outside because you got that post in the center. But hoping that's what the grant would be for this year. So basically it's just a letter of support for that grant. And I know Randy Shell's in the process of getting the judge and Pam quotes on what's it gonna cost. We just need a motion to assist for that program.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the draft taxi cab local law amendment. Basically what this is we don't really have much on the books when it comes to taxi cab operators. And pretty much anybody that wants to come in and get a permit can do it. This new local law is gonna make it a little better for our community because we're gonna have control over who's actually driving taxi cabs in the village. They're gonna have them checked out. And, so basically, it's, this is a copy of the law that we'd like to adopt for the trustees to look over. And, if everybody's okay with it, we need to schedule a public hearing on that also, to be for next month.
I'll make the motion, we have a public hearing at our regular scheduled meeting
Yep.
at 4 o'clock on September 18th.
It's something we've been working on for a while, with the police department. And Joe's gone all through it and drafted it up, so to make it the way it should be from local law. So, public hearing at 4 o'clock.
I made the motion. No, second.
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor, what is it, September
18th.
18th, you said?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. Mr. Mayor, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this also take care of Uber drivers and whatever else, there's another outfit out there? Lyft, thank you.
No, but we have,
I mean, it's kinda like a taxi driver, isn't it?
Well, the way we've just defined taxi cab is any motor vehicle engaged in the business of carrying passengers for hire. So.
So that should
I
cover-
think
For
it
hire
should-
is the key word.
For hire,
Okay.
yeah.
for hires to keep, okay.
Yep.
Thank you. That answers my question. Lyft people are gonna be mad at me, I didn't think of that.
Standard workday and reporting resolution. Basically, this is just, information that goes to the state retirement. And we have to approve that one, do we?
Yeah.
So we're gonna need a motion to approve this for our employees that are involved.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
So I'll second it.
all in
Give
favor?
this guy a break, he's got radio, it's just 2.14.
Yep. One
You
abstention.
weren't there, right? That's 2.14 minutes.
Something like that. Temporary access agreement, this is up in our watershed, you wanna, I don't wanna pick on you, Paul, but you've done most of the talk with these two gentlemen, do you wanna explain it to the board?
Yeah, I think I brought it up a few months ago. I had a gentleman from Bailey Lumber Company, he's a forester for them. He just wanted to have access through our property. He's gonna have a landing area on one side of our property. On the other side, he's gonna be pulling trees. So this is basically an agreement. I talked to our forester, Eric Hershey, he actually drew this up. Just gives him access to go through our property, at no fee to the village. Any fees that are imposed, they'll have to pay, that's even Eric's fee for his, doing this paperwork. Really, basically all he's gonna do is drive through there.
That's our property.
Yes, just a little corner of it.
Should we have
The municipal board
performance
is already,
bonds, to protect us if there's something village?
He
Yes, we offer that.
has all the liability insurance. all that.
I mean, I would think we gotta require insurance with us named as a petition insured, wouldn't you?
Minimum.
Yeah.
It's right
Is it on
in,
here?
yeah, it's right in here,
Alright.
so.
Sometimes,
Yeah, that part, I guess.
sometimes you ask for a bond simply because, I've seen how those things can work, but if we're listed as additional insurance, then we got first rights. So,
The municipal board's already looked at this and they don't have a problem with it. Right, Charlie?
I'm trying to remember, hold on.
I'm pretty sure that, they were okay with it that night, cause I was there that night.
And I might not have been on
I'll make
there.
the motion if we allow.
A second?
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, down to correspondence, letter from the Office of Lewis County Planning, notification of site plan review, which approved for year 7380 for Utica Boulevard. It was approved with conditions. The conditions were compliance with all local, state, and federal regulatory requirements for this type of facility and the product stored. The 2016 Green Vote Solutions noted that the areas in which these proposed panels will be installed were left clear due to laws going into effect at that time. It should be confirmed that the installation of the proposed panels within the 4-foot walkway will comply with these laws. According to Article 6, Section 610G, the facility shall have a sign which provides a 24-hour emergency contact telephone number, if not already posted for the existing solar energy system. Applicant should comply with this requirement prior to any rare expansion. So, I think they're all okay with that. Anybody has any questions? Department of Public Service, ISAC proposed rate, hearings coming up. On the back is, the dates and with locations, if anybody wants to go to any of the public hearings. Also says you can submit your comments by calling, toll-free numbers here, or via email. They give a phone number and email address. Anybody got any comments on the rate increases?
Keep them down.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Office of Lewis County, E911 address maintenance, address for East State Street Pump Station. Basically what's gonna happen down there, if we're successful in getting the property subdivided, right where the pump station's located, that address is gonna stay at 7519 East State Street. And then the house and garage, where it's, the driveway is actually located for that property on Water Street. The new address, 911 address for the house will be 5622 Water Street. And that's all pending the subdivision going through. Okay, Lowville Fire Department, they had voted in a new member on August 5th. Brendan Pruinski, is that how you say it? Pruskowski? So the fire department submitting his name to the village board for their approval, so we just need a motion to approve.
Make the motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's a letter from Jeremy, happened on the 5 streets. We've kind of talked about that, but this basically says that he did sit down with everybody and working away at getting all the plans finalized.
15.
Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield noticed that the Medicare Supplement C, they have a proposed rate-in change, possible 9%, but it's not, that's what they're proposing, it's not the actual rate yet. It's not ready for we should know, will actually be, says will be noted 60 days prior to the actual rate change, so coming down, we haven't got it yet. That's what they're proposing. Village attorney.
Nothing else that we haven't already talked about.
Okay, the only thing I have is a couple things, we were talking about the house down there, basically the village application to zoning was approved on, their July 24th meeting. Public hearing is set for August 28th, and if everything goes smooth at the August 28th public hearing, it's gonna move right into the planning board for approval on, subdividing the property. On the, one thing here on the sewer plant, the phase 2 involving the grants. Jeff Smith Municipal Solutions have already submitted, for the village of Lowville, CFA application submitted grant for $800,000 and a WQIP grant, to ESB for $1,678,000, and we should, this is through the consolidated funding, and we should know, I believe it's December, we'll hear on those grants. Every year, we're supposed to review the planning and zoning board. We are joint now with the town, and in August, it's in our memorandum of understanding, we'll take a look at the cost associated with the town and village sharing that. So Randy Shell and I went over it. Kathy got us some numbers. Right now, the village pays 65%, and the town pays 35%. We're taking a look at zoning and planning board applications for the last year. We figure a fair rate going forward in the next year is that actually the village will drop 5%. We'll pay 60%, and the town will pay 40%. And so really all we gotta do in that memorandum of understanding is just change those two numbers. So I just need permission from the board to go ahead and sign that new memorandum of understanding on that one page. We change those numbers.
I'll make the motion to allow the mayor to sign said document.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I got. Clerk treasurer.
I don't have anything.
Chief of police?
The BAS sent me a letter, and they've been talking to me about our server over at the police department. Apparently, what we have is the Windows Server 2008. They've been having issues with that on backup, trying to back things up. They've had to come in about, now recently, every other day or so, coming in and rebooting our computer to get it going, so they're recommending we replace that server. That server. And the price they gave, hardware would be $2,500, software $900, BAS labor $1,920 for a total of $5,320. And then there would be a travel expense not to exceed $250. Are they sole source?
Are they what?
Sole source. In other words, do they have competitors?
Well, they're the ones that are doing
There are
handle all our computer stuff right now.
So they're sole source.
What
They said here is the server, the police department is running Windows Server 2008. The hardware in which it is running had a Dell warranty that expired on August 21st, 17. BAS recommends replacing this server in order to upgrade both the hardware and software in the police department. This new server would come with a 4-year warranty they have here. It'll be Windows Server 2016. And they're guesstimating their labor at 16 hours to install a new server and configure for the police department. That was not budgeted. We did not see that one coming.
It wasn't budgeted, but we may have to move some stuff around in our budgets. to maybe cover it. With everything that's going on with malware attacks and things, I think we should upgrade our system and not have something old that can easily be attacked.
I'll make a motion to approve it, Mayor.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Maybe the only other thing I was gonna mention is parking always comes up as an issue. So I've got 2 people watching the parking. We don't get everybody all the time, but I think our parking tickets are up this year. I'd have to go back and actually count them. Now, actually during the fair time, they went down this year. Previous 2 years, we were somewhere in the 50 range of parking tickets during the fair, but obviously some people were catching on. Obviously some aren't very happy that they got a ticket, but there were signs up above there, and I had State DOT come in today and I spoke to him, and he's gonna be checking that area, checking the signage. If any signage needs to be adjusted, he's gonna be adjusting the signs there on Bostwick Street. And as far as Stowe Street goes, you received an email as well as myself. Stowe Street's been monitored by the patrols. It's also been, Speedwagon's been moved over onto Stowe Street. And I also talked to the sheriff personally and the commissioner of social services personally while sending emails out to their people, just reminding them of the speed limit down through town. As a courtesy phone call, they each got one. Now the chips will fall where they may.
For speeding, you see? Yeah, I have noticed that myself. I mean, some of these trucks coming into the village are just flying.
Some of the milk tankers and things I noticed.
Yeah.
They run the red light like crazy in the town.
And then the rest of the traffic stays with them, you know, of course.
That's good though. They've had fair warning. Tickets will talk.
I did the same thing at the courthouse here a month or so ago. I contacted the county manager, told him to send a courtesy email out to his employees and let them know there's parking restrictions around there, and I believe he did that.
Who did?
That's all I have.
I do have, one thing regarding personnel, but I think could an executive session for that.
I have request one as well.
Superintendent,
Nothing.
oh, that's good.
Everything's going well. I hope. I haven't got any, I've got a lot of good comments, phone calls, so my guys are doing their job, so.
Look pretty good on TV too there, Paul.
She got my worst side.
I see that.
I wish she'd have got that. It's tough driving around with a camera in your face and Joe in my back ear. Huh?
He had to have a chaperone. Capital future planning?
Nothing that we haven't already discussed.
That's what
I got just that DRI applications. There has been some of them awarded. I don't know if you've been paying
Right,
attention. Fulton did get one. I think he's awarded 5 or 6 out of the 10, but the North Country hasn't been awarded.
I looked the other day and it just said to be announced for
Yeah.
the North Country. I got an email from Kimberly this morning at the consultants, and then before I opened it, I thought maybe she had a heads up and was on something else. So. Personnel.
Nothing, sir.
Okay. We do have a new mechanic, right?
Yes.
The only thing I think in personnel. Which was badly needed. We have too much going on in the water plant, sewer plant, trying to keep all the vehicles maintained. Finance.
The office audits are complete through April. They'll be complete up to date by tomorrow, and we've got the courts all done, right?
Courts are correct.
Yep. Thank you. Lazen's Fire Department, I have nothing because I didn't make the last meeting. Sorry about that. Anything on the police department?
Nothing new, sir.
Planning board, zoning.
Talked about the next meeting with the subdivision issue.
municipal board.
Next meeting is September the 10th at 6 p.m. That's it. Talk to everything else.
I met with Randy, a week or so ago. I tried to catch him in the morning before, like at 7:30. We talked about the 60/40 thing too. They have the parts in for the LED lighting in this building, and their employees are supposed to install them sometime here soon, I guess. And then he also talked about the Hospital Hill drainage deal, and they have cleaned out a pond, detention pond behind Summit Ave or something?
Yeah, we haven't cleaned it out yet.
Oh, you haven't yet?
No,
Okay.
we're,
That's what the talk was about.
it's on my list to do, so we can move forward on that whole project.
Is that grant money still sitting there?
It's been dispersed, how's that?
What's that?
As far as I know, we have all the pipe to do all that work.
For the
So
Rossville?
for only that 70,000, what you're saying?
I believe so. I would have to ask Randy. And then all the work will be done by the village, the town, and the county.
Which we agreed on.
Yes.
Is that the Ross Road?
The Ross Road and Matouche.
Yeah, they used some of that money for the piping for the Ross Road, right? Some of that.
Yes.
That, Michelle has been on, she's been down there taking.
Correct.
That's moving along.
Yep.
Yeah,
More than what Randy Shell told me.
He's still requesting, the municipal board reinstatement for the lake there. I do know that. I don't know what he's got in his head, but.
We haven't heard anything.
No, we've been waiting.
So he's been pretty quiet about it.
I think he's got a weak argument.
I thought he was supposed to get some numbers back.
Yes, he was.
That's what he's doing.
So-
Might as well
He's
keep
gonna
him, it's
request it
legal.
through the municipal board when he gets to that point.
Cause I know that last I thought, they were looking for those numbers.
That's
The municipal board was, before they moved.
That's all I got.
Anything on the recreation committee, any
Skip
updates?
County.
Or what, I mean, the Skip County.
The thing I wanna talk about right now is we've seen the debacle over the guns and whether they should be paid or whether they shouldn't be. And I think that should alert us. I don't know what the county's procurement policy is, but that should have been pretty cut and dried straight. That being said, my remark to the department heads would be just make sure we understand our procurement policy. It's a state contract, it's in budget, fine. If it's over whatever the threshold is, we get 3 bids. And if it's in budget, I don't think it's ours to question or hold up, and otherwise it comes to the board for approval. That turned out absolutely the way it should have. And we just wanna, I just wanna keep a warning on that, because we have a procurement policy in place. We don't have a true purchase order system in place, but we have a procurement policy. And that's it.
For the rec, I'll get you the final report for summer rec when it becomes available.
I guess that's it. Any other new business before the board, before we go into executive session? Anybody have anything?
Yeah.
Hi there. I live at the corner of Church and Water, and I'm not here to complain about the 5 Street project, although it's not been going well. But I do have a request. I'd like the board to consider doing no parking from the top of Church Street down. I had the opportunity to be off for a month, so I sat and watched the construction. And it's evident, if anybody is parked on the side, those construction vehicles were having trouble getting up the hill. When they parked, we couldn't exit our driveway, and we're actually a shared driveway with my neighbors, so I could actually exit the street. But when there's parking on there, you can't, and in the winter, it's dangerous. People are sliding, they can't get up the hill, you're trying to move around. I just think from the top of it, the hill down about Moss Years down, there should be no parking on either side of the street. It really does pose a risk. It's nice that they put in a rock at the bottom now. I always wondered how someone didn't end up in the river. So I didn't know the process, but I would like to ask the board to look into that.
Is there parking allowed there now? I mean, is it,
There's
The
no
whole street,
signs.
yeah.
there's no signs?
There's no signs, so I'm not gonna see there's parking,
So technically, they can park on both sides of the street,
and they do.
and that could create a huge issue for the fire department.
Yes, so you see people bobbing
So
and
we need to
weaving out.
address that.
And-
Sometimes you don't see these things when they're right in front of you,
And
and then someone like you observes it.
it's only challenge when I wanna get out of my driveway and they parked across the road.
That's an inconvenience, which is bad enough, but safety is even worse.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's because of the fire hydrant that's there, it's actually probably should be a no parking zone anyway, there's a fire hydrant.
I'm sure Mr. Dickens.
I hate to say this, but if you're gonna do that, I think you need to take a look at the whole street, right from Shady Ave down. And
Leave it
maybe,
up to the board.
and no, the reason I'm saying, and maybe not, and maybe just pick one side of no parking, because
Well,
if you get down close to Shady Ave, you got the same problem. There's trailers and stuff being parked on one side of the street, trucks and trailers on the other side of the street. So I think the whole street needs to be looked at. Because the thing is, you gotta do you can't just go down there and pop a sign in the
We have to
ground.
have a public
We
hearing.
gotta
Right.
you gotta rewrite the local law, then you got a public hearing, and so I'm just saying, if you could, instead of looking at just that short section, we need to look at the whole street.
So don't come back to us.
I mean, if you're gonna do it once and be done with it.
That would be fine with it.
Agreed. To second that, the last section of Park Ave, the first two sections say no parking this side. People don't, they disregard that when they got garage sales. The third section, there's no signs on either side of the street, and it's very narrow. If people are parking at either way, you can't get through. So
Where do you
you have
live?
to look at that same time you do Church
Which
Street.
section?
Where you live?
The last, no, down toward the river,
Okay.
the third section. from-
Oh, you mean down
from
towards
Shady Ave
Water
down,
Street?
Shady Ave down to the river.
Water.
See, that's gonna be,
Gonna be wider?
that's gonna be wider when they come up through
Okay,
there.
right now it's not.
I mean, yeah, right now you
Anyway, you
get,
got the same situation with a hill on the end there,
Yeah.
really.
you
Same thing.
get to Elm
Not
Street,
quite
it
as
just kinda
steep.
narrows right down.
Right.
No, that's gonna be it'll be all the same up through there, and that's gonna be all widened out. It may be that way at this fall if everything goes right.
Yeah, that lower section was supposed to be done this year, and that bottom part, basically what Joe said, from Elm to the water is very narrow, we widening it.
Okay, anything else before we go on then? Everybody good? Okay, motion to go into executive session.